Hey guys, this is Will Roundtree, your FICO certified credit specialist, credit mastery instructor for the J. Morrison Academy, author of 2 books, Credit is King, as well as full-time CEO, The Shit They Don't Tell You. But more importantly, I want to take you on this journey about financial literacy, the importance of credit, how to understand credit, and how to get to that money. Welcome to the Wealth Files Podcast. Peace, family. Will Roundtree here. You are now tuned in to the Wealth Files. For those who may not know me, credit mastery instructor, FICO certified credit mastery instructor. I forgot to add that. Also, author of 2 books. First book, Credit is King, which is merely just a manual of understanding credit, how to improve your credit, the myths about credit, and even how to improve your child's credit. That's something that I've been getting a lot of questions of, as well as my newest book, Full-Time CEO, The Shit They Don't Tell You, where I'm going to be diving in and talking about all the unglamorized stuff when it comes to business. You know, I get so many up-and-coming entrepreneurs, seasoned entrepreneurs, people who's thinking about entrepreneurship, and they're always talking about, like, what's the thing about business? And, you know, I want to open a business. And the first thing I tell them, that shit is hard. You know, we go on the internet and we see the lifestyle. We see people hopping off planes and jets and money phones. And trust me, business is nothing like that. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose money. You might even lose your relationship. But just understand that it's nothing more rewarding than just going for your dream, no matter how long it takes you, no matter what the struggle is, overcoming adversities. So if you have not done so, please make sure you go and pick up that book. Also, make sure you go and follow my YouTube channel at Mr. Will Roundtree. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But more importantly, today it's all about our guests, and we actually have someone very important. As I say, all of our guests is extremely important. So I want to bring on our guest today, who is not only an entrepreneur himself, but I had an opportunity to go to an event probably about a week ago called The Pitch. And the thing that intrigued me about The Pitch is it was all about kind of reaching back and helping out up-and-coming business owners, aspiring entrepreneurs, and different things like that. Because one of the things in my journey of being an entrepreneur is that I had people around me who saw something in me that I maybe not saw in myself, or that even just bought into my vision. And sometimes all it takes is just one person to see something that you may see. And so the thing I enjoyed about the event, The Pitch, is that it gave aspiring entrepreneurs a platform to talk about their vision, their goals, their businesses, and have potential investors like myself and some other investors possibly be interested in partnering with those businesses. And so I was extremely excited when he asked me to be a part of it. And so I definitely want to bring him on, not only to talk about that event, but just even to talk about all the endeavors that he has going on. I mean, he's a still entrepreneur, and, well respected, not only just here in the city, but across the country. And more importantly, giving back to our community. See, this king, he could go out, be great, and just be great by himself. But he chose to be great and come back and pay it forward. And so without further ado, I want to bring on King Kadeem. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, man, I'm doing blessed. It's Saturday.
Yes, sir.
It is. Man, we're almost at the end of February.
Yep. We right in it. We 2020. We in it, man.
Man, it's crazy. I swear it feels like it was just New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in New Year's, Vegas is a different city.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
definitely a different city.
Yeah, it is. Vegas is really different. You know, being from the East Coast, Vegas is really different. You know, I'm from New York originally, but Vegas is like 24/7 for real.
It really is, and it spoils you.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times, I go to other cities and stuff is closed at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You
can't.
And in Vegas, we don't leave the house till 11.
Yeah.
And so you get spoiled, with that. So no, I definitely appreciate you coming on. Let the people know, who you are, what you do, and all that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my name is Kadeem Berry with Broad Living Consulting. Like I said, I'm originally from Bronx, New York, but I've been out here in Vegas for about 5 years now. Really just the way it started was just wanted to make a change, wanted to do something different. Got into the solar industry at the same time I was thinking about getting into real estate. A young lady came up, an elderly lady came up to me, should I say, and she said, "Young man, you should get into real estate." And I said, really? I was like, real estate. At the time, I wanted to run the streets, from New York, be in the music industry, the whole 9 yards. But I was always in sales and things like that, just to kind of keep afloat, keep everything moving. But when she told me that, I was like, real estate, wow.
How long ago was this?
This is when I first moved. This is back in 2015. So
okay.
When I first moved out here, I was fresh. I was working at a Verizon store.
Right.
I was like, I just trying to change my life, no longer on the East Coast, make that move.
You still got ties to Verizon? Because my reception has been very bad out here lately.
Nah, no more,
I'm going to need
man.
you to make a call over there and see what's going on.
Let me see. I may. A few people remember me when I pop up, but, yeah. So, yeah, long story short, she came up to me and said, you should get into the real estate business. And I said, okay. Literally that next week, I jumped out, went to real estate school. I paid the $300-$400.
Correct.
Went to real estate school. It took a minute because when I first moved out here, I didn't have a car. It was kind of rough. So I was on the bus, taking the bus from North Vegas all the way to Henderson. That was like a 3-hour trip.
People don't know that's a long bus ride.
Believe you me, coming from New York, the public transportation is very different.
So. If you miss a bus out in Vegas,
yes,
you may just end up going back home.
Yes, yes. It's a wrap. It's really a wrap. I had to go back a few days because it was like it's a wrap.
Right.
So it took about 3-4 months to finish the class, doing work and just trying to figure my new life out, everything. Long story short, with that, I ended up passing real estate school, but then I failed my real estate test.
Correct.
But I actually got the job at Solar City Tesla.
Okay.
At that same time. And I was like, well, okay, I'm dealing with energy. I'm dealing with homes, real estate. I said, maybe I can flip this up, make something out of this.
Right.
And it was brand new for me, just jumping into the energy business like that. So I was there, I thugged it out, and just out of nowhere, the light switch hit. And I said, wow. Right. Then I started helping hundreds of families. People was telling me like, damn, this is crazy. You doing that? And, it has a lot to do with real estate adding value to the property. But with that, I just said, wow, maybe if I went out on my own, let's see what can happen with that. People told me the numbers I was pulling in. They said, Kadeem, if you did this by yourself, you'd be a millionaire. Right. I said, really?
Right.
I said, yeah, it's time to go out. So that entrepreneur bug kicked in, and I said, let's go. And obviously, it's a little bit different because Tesla was paying a lot of money in the marketing and all of that stuff. So I had to pay my own marketing. Everything was cash. At that time, I had even solid credit, but really didn't know what to do with my credit. So that's why I also, your book is key, but it was kind of crazy. I didn't know what to do with my credit. I just bought a new car. That was it.
Right.
And my business was just cash. People don't understand. I was just paying so much cash and getting sales, and it was just like a revolving door almost. So that was it. And I started understanding the game. Like, okay, this is really business. And, went back to work a couple times and had the business, jumped back out. My customers was like, hey, we need you. We need you to come to Cali. Need you to come to the East Coast. So I would go back at the job and hit the, it would be that hot streak.
Okay.
So you go through those hot streak and cold streaks again of running a business. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And just learning the way. Learning the way and understanding what they mean by multiple streams and being able to learn new things and having to tap into different markets sometimes. And that's eventually what I did. And, we have a few other things going, a few endeavors. We have a little cheap car business, 5K and under, home of 5K and under.
Let me stop you for a second.
My bad.
No. The reason I say that is because when I talk to entrepreneurs, when they say I have a little business, we got to stop thinking like that.
That's true.
Because then we diminish the value of what the business could potentially be.
That's right.
So whether you're making an extra $500 or $5,000 a week or whatever, we got a business.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? You had to invest in it.
Right.
So yeah.
So you're right. And I've definitely been told that, like, cut that out. So yeah, when I opened up another venture part of the business, sorry, I keep doing it, but it was almost like the idea. That's why the pitch is so big, because the idea, when I said, I want to make my money keep revolving. Correct. Because I can't keep spending my money just on the same nonsense. So I need to put my money into something. Correct. Real estate right now, is up and down. I did a flip or two, but it's real estate is different. So I said, let me do the car business. And next minute, that just kind of took off with that. So, and that's just kind of what I've been doing. So we still do the energy business, home improvement financing. We do the home of 5K and under.
Okay.
So we do nice cars, decent cars, 5K and under. And we just revolving. And then Black in Business, which is my other venture, which brings in the pitch, that was the business consulting. And it's really nothing different. I want it to be, everything I do is I want it to be a little different. So I'm not being like a lead generator or anything like that. I know my gift, my what I've been doing. I'm a sales guy.
Correct.
So I'm more so of a sales strategist for businesses and for up-and-coming businesses.
When you own a business, you got to know sales.
You have to know sales.
Because you got to sell yourself.
You have to. And a lot of people try to figure so many things out. They say things like, well, I'm not going to do this right now because I don't have business cards. I'm not going to do this right now because I don't have a website. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like,
it is. So at that point, you said something earlier in the conversation that really stuck out. You said you came out here, didn't have a car, and, just kind of had to thug it out.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, and then seeing where you are today,
mm-hmm.
the whole point of entrepreneurship, or I'll just say life, period, is how do you deal with adversity?
Right.
And I think that's really the difference in why people make it and why people don't. And not even just in business, but in life, because one, we're not being prepped to learn how to deal with adversity. It's almost like I can remember when I moved to Vegas in 2005, I didn't know anybody. I borrowed $500. I tell my story all the time because I want people to understand, like, you're going to have to go through some things sometimes.
Going to.
And I can remember it was times like I wanted to call home and say, you know what, Mom, can you send me something? You know what I'm saying?
Had those moments.
But I was like, I needed to go through this because once you can get over any type of obstacle, it's very hard to shake you when you have to deal with, as I say, lightweight issues.
Right.
So when you go from sleeping in your car, somebody telling you no in business is not going to stop you from doing business.
Correct.
Because I've seen people quit what they thought was their goal or dream because one person told them no.
Correct.
Because their spouse maybe not have supported them. Because they don't have business cards. I've seen people quit because they can't figure out how to build a website. Well, go find somebody that can build a website. It's just like we have to understand that we have to level up our critical thinking, skills. And that's one of the things that stood out to what you said is like, you just figured it out.
Yeah.
Like and it's interesting because we'll go and maneuver and try to figure out things that don't do with anything of us trying to achieve our goals. Let a concert come to town and you trying to get some tickets.
Right.
We'll figure out how to buy tickets.
Well, exactly.
We'll figure out how to go get a new outfit. We'll figure out how to go get them sneakers. And I always say, we go and buy outfits to go to clubs and concerts. It's dark in there. Can't nobody see what you got on anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes time to, okay, I want to start this business. I need $500.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't have it.
Damn.
And I had to tell somebody the other day, I was like, King, you can't afford not to have the money to invest in this.
Crazy.
Because you just told me you trying to do X, Y, and Z. But if I told you I can sell you, a Gucci backpack for 80% off, you'll find the money, wouldn't you? He was like, King, you're right. So we have to start understanding, like, you just got to go out there and be resourceful. You got to go through the bumps in the road. You got to go through the adversity.
Crazy.
And so, and just hearing your story, which I feel is, I think most entrepreneurs have went through something, which is why they're in the position they're in, because it's really not much that can phase them, So now let's talk about the real estate with the solar. I like how you said, you know what? I may not be directly a part of real estate, but indirectly I am through solar.
Right.
What was that? Because solar was popping out here for a minute.
Right.
And now, it's still a very, definitely a lucrative industry. I work with several solar companies, but just understanding what is that educational process? Because some people still don't understand the concept of it. How does that have been to be able to educate people on that? And why it's even important?
Well, it's definitely important, definitely because you're going to be outside of being green and people saving money on their energy. It's the investment side of it. And the long-term investment of it is not only obviously you're saving money on your energy bill, but we also have to understand your energy bill is never going to decrease.
Correct.
It's going to keep going up, just like everything else. It's inflation. You know, so obviously your solar is gonna, when we upgrade your home to a solar home, or what I call it a green powered home, because that is what it's also called. You're locking in today's rates. So the solar company or however we break down your system, it's going to be cheaper than what you're paying now. But as we lock it in today, it's going to be today's rates that we saved you today. And then also tomorrow, as it goes up, you're still saving from 2020's rates. So when 2030 happens and everyone's paying $400 on their energy bill, you're still paying $190.
Yeah, because there's no legislation of them increasing the rates.
Exactly.
And that's something you have to pay every year.
Exactly. Exactly. So outside of that, there's a lot of other things that go with it. As far as incentives, tax kickbacks. Right now, we have the 26% tax kickback if you decide to own your home. Own your solar system. What else we have? We also have, every state has their own incentives as well. Nevada used to have a credit where NV Energy had a rebate. They finished that last year, but they always come back with different ones because legislation always fights for two different types of energy, obviously. We still have the old fossil fuel, dirty energy, and then we have the clean energy. That is the way of the future. So we have that, and that's my baby right there.
Right.
That industry changed my life.
Definitely.
You know, and it helped me see things from a really broader scale. That's why the business is called Broad Living.
Okay.
And it just really did that. It did that for me. So with people saving from the long term, and then outside of people saving things like as far as on the health aspect, I've had homeowners say, Kadeem, I don't know what's going on, but I'm breathing better. Being honest, at one point, I knew it was healthy for the environment, but for people's particular homes, I'm like, wow, that was impactful.
Correct.
And I've heard a lot of impactful things since I've been in this industry, and I've been in this industry now 5 years.
Right.
Broad Living's been up and running for 3 years, so it's really been a journey. It's really been a journey. So on the real estate, it adds appreciation, adds value based if you own the system. You do have two options. You can lease it, but if you decide to own it, there's a lot more benefits of owning it. Being very simple and sweet straight to the point. Because I do educational classes to real estate agents, title brokers. I do classes throughout the city. And sometimes it starts off as an hour class, but it's so many questions. It can go into a 3-hour class.
Oh, easily.
And, it's because it's a lot of information.
Right.
And I went through the boot camps of it in the early days. So yeah.
Now I know when I was looking at solar during the time period when they were first coming to Vegas, it didn't cost people anything out of pocket as long as they had good credit. Is that still the case?
Correct. It still does not cost anything out of pocket if you still have solid credit. Now we actually are working with subprime banks, so it can still benefit.
Well, we want to
make
sure they credit right.
Yeah, we want to make sure they credit right regardless.
Yeah. We ain't doing the subprime thing. We had a whole topic on that.
Exactly. Because credit is a big thing with the industry. There's a lot of people that would want to go solar, especially in our community. And the main thing is credit. You don't know how many homes I've been in. Decent homes and everything.
I believe it.
And the Mercedes outside and I'm like,
we got to do better though.
We have to.
We have to do better because I know they're paying 29% interest on that Mercedes. I know they had to put 3 times the deposit if they're renting that home. You know, I understand that everything that they may have financed in that home, they've paid a premium for it. And so we want the lifestyle, but we want it like this.
Exactly.
And we got to change that mindset. And that's why I'm so passionate about the credit aspect, just like you are when it comes to solar. And so, speaking of the solar industry, I know one of the things that I'm always talking about, especially with a lot of entrepreneurs, is that, you know, it's so many different arenas that we, meaning blacks, minorities, our black and brown people can invest in and be a part, especially when, like, we need to start getting in industries, not when it's so saturated where you're only getting a fraction of, you know, the of what the potential of the industry is. I would assume it's probably not a lot of black solar company owners in this space.
No.
Can you speak to that?
As far as the sales force, we run the only sales force here in Las Vegas.
Wow.
The only black sales force. I did run into a brother who he runs the installation side of it.
Wow.
So that was a blessing running into him.
We have to start thinking ownership.
We have to. And I found my way. And the thing is, what you have to understand is that was my skill. Once I dominated with working for Tesla, I said, okay, how can I do this? I knew I was going to spend money, but how is still the lowest cost effective way for me to jump into this arena, like you said, this industry that I'm comfortable in and still succeed. And I said, well, I'm not an installer. I'm not a roofer. I'm not any of that type of stuff. I'm not,
there's even anything wrong with those.
Yeah, right. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not an electrician.
Right.
But I said, this is what I do.
Right.
I'm a negotiator. Right. I know how to do that. I'm a consultant. So I made it work. I made it work to try to find partnerships with the strongest solar partners out here in the nation. And bless to God, we made it happen.
Right.
Like we made it happen. We were partnered with the #1 solar installer, Sunrun. And then we also have a partnership with Freedom Forever and a few other installers regionally.
Is it an easy industry to get into?
Is they tighten it up every day.
Okay.
They tighten it up every day with anything. And it's really funny because I've been in meetings where I'm the only one and I look around and I said, damn, this is the energy industry. Like,
it's not this industry is not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. And once they found a way to make it a solid industry, because that's what a lot of things people have to understand. This industry has been around. People had solar. There was solar on the White House
20 years ago.
Exactly. I still see some of the older systems.
Right.
But once they found a way to make it a lucrative industry for the banks to make money, that's all they was looking for. So once it was actually in the Bush administration.
The marijuana industry.
Exactly. And then back in the Bush administration, and people was funny about Bush, he's an oil guy.
Right.
But he's the one that activated the terms for the renewable energy industry to boom. And it's been a boom. Okay. It's been a boom. And I got in at its height when Nevada was ranked number 10.
Correct.
Before NV Energy did their funny move that they did to us.
Correct.
But it's been a boom and it's still strong. Still a strong industry, but people have to understand it's like now anything else. It's like the roofing industry, it's like the real estate business. You have alarm businesses, you have all these different type of arenas, and you just have to find a way that you're going to be comfortable and make it happen for you.
Correct.
And we still have a long way to go. We still have a long way to go because even though I have consultants under me, I still get out there. I still door knock. I still do tabling events. I'm still out there.
Passionate about it.
Because I'm passionate about it. And to be honest with you, that I have to be the best one at the end of the day. So if we having a slow month, I gotta make it happen some way, somehow. And it happens. So
I read something once before and they said bosses lead from behind, leaders lead from the front.
Mm-hmm.
And so me hearing you talk about, look, I'm in the field and I'm the owner.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful because your team buys into that vision. They buy into that culture.
Right.
They're like, oh, Kadeem is out here going hard.
Mm-hmm.
I got to step my game up as the sales rep or as the contractor or whatever it is. And so and I think that's important because, one, it's your baby.
Right.
So you're going to do what you got to do to make sure it succeeds.
Exactly.
And if you got to, it's times when I'm on the phone making sales calls. Clients are surprised I'm calling them.
Got to.
I'm like, no, if my team not doing something, they slacking, or I have to. Because the thing about, again, it's the adversity part of business.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be peaks and valleys. I remember one time I had to fire my entire processing team. I'm not going to stop the business.
Right.
So guess what I did? I was up 24/7 for about 3-4 days while I could replace the team. Of course, I had some other people on the team that filled in some spots, but that's the part of business.
Exactly.
Dealing with adversity, Now, what is it in the solar industry like? Because I think this is something that we should talk more about just to the community and masses because we got to think ownership.
Exactly.
And not even just as far as the solar, but in anything we do. And so let's pivot a little bit and talk about the pitch.
Okay.
Tell people what the pitch is. I gave my best rendition from a spectator, and I appreciate you putting that together because it's something that has been kind of at the forefront of my mind because I get so many people that do reach out to me
Right.
to, help them with their businesses, invest. And I tell people a lot of times, investing in a company isn't always monetary. Sometimes you just need guidance. You just need structure. Got a dope idea. You have great work ethic. If you got good credit, I'm going to help you get the money.
Right.
You just need structure because we don't have the strategies. And so the fact you had the platform already, the blueprint, I'll say, already in place, it was just a perfect match for me to just hop on because I believe in your vision of what you are trying to help other entrepreneurs do. But explain to the people what the pitch is.
So the pitch really came about once we started the business consulting side. I wanted to find a way really to make it stick because now in the social media days, everyone is kind of like a consultant or something of that nature. So I said, but I'm always giving tips. I'm always giving jewels. I'm always giving jewels every day. But I said, what's a way to make an impact? And I said, I need, what's something I can do? And I watched the show Shark Tank, and I like Shark Tank.
Oh, I love the show.
I love it. I love Damon John that he represents. I love it. But then I'm like, dang. Why don't we have something? We got businesses, we have ideas every day, especially outside of, the entertainment business and things like that. We have ideas. So I said, what can I do? I tapped into my younger days back when I used to host, rap performances and I used to rap and everything. And I said,
is it just me or did everybody who grew up in the hood, we tried to rap?
We tried to rap. We made it happen, And, I did a few shows. I felt like I was almost there, but not for nothing. It just didn't happen, We all did. We all went through it.
Man.
So I tapped into that and I said, I can throw something. Let me throw something where it's the Shark Tank for us,
And I like that.
To kind of go straight to the point. But I didn't really want to say I'm having judges or panelists. Because right now, we don't need that. Right now. Maybe later down the road, but right now, our community doesn't need judges or panelists. We just need our people around us just to see what we have. Because that's all we talk about nowadays is circulating and keeping it within our community. But everyone's not really doing it to that degree of how and I like to be about it. So I said, let me jump out, find a way to make it happen. Leverage, I found one of my partners. He had the access to UNLV. I had the idea. I said, let's do it. And I went to him the same way because he does events. He does spoken word events.
Okay.
So I said, let's do something. Because I know you do events like this, but let's do something a little different. And I said, let's do business. And let's talk about business. And I feel like it's going to open up a different energy in the building, a different energy in the community if we can have some platforms about business. And to get straight to the point, those marketing events, I love marketing events, I do go. But like I do say, a few of them were like, people just hug the wall every now and then.
You clicking up with somebody who
exactly,
get a few drinks and posting some pictures on it.
Exactly.
Which is why I really don't like networking events. Unless I know what the substance of it is.
Correct.
And so, and I appreciated your event because you flipped the format.
Right. Went straight to the point. I said, listen, instead of people feeling awkward about talking to their business, let's talk about it.
Right.
Talk about your business. And let's make that based around the event. And then at the end of the origin of the event, everyone can kick back, relax. And now it breaks the ice so
Definitely.
easy. It just breaks the ice. And you probably saw a lot of people were just mingling.
Right.
Just that they probably would have never really mingled. Actually, in the beginning, people were just
sitting in their chairs.
But then after that, it was a different vibe.
Right.
So that's what it's about.
Also, what was interesting too is so you had your main pitchers, as you call them. I think it was maybe about 5 or 6. But then when people in the audience or the crowd who were also business owners, now they wanted to pitch their business to everybody.
Exactly.
And so that energy just catches on. And so, no, I like it. And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's our version of Shark Tank. And I see this thing being huge. I see it, you taking it to different cities because a lot of times we don't know that it's some dope individuals out here.
Dope.
And you don't know who is watching that could benefit from your product or services.
Right.
Or they say, you know what? Our clientele aligns, let's partner.
Right.
You know, and because one of the things that I learned in business is that one of the fastest ways to scale your company is to joint venture with someone. You know, with my credit business, that's how I grew it so fast, because I said, you know what? I don't want to go do 100 meetings or 100 sit downs to 100 people.
Yeah.
I want to get in a room full of 100 people and do one. And so I started partnering with mortgage brokers and doing home workshop events. I started partnering with car dealerships who they're going to run your credit 1,000,000 times. So we're going to, you know, be able to get them in position and get their credit cleaned up.
That's good.
Partnering with companies who we shared clientele, because they get someone who doesn't get approved, we clean them up and send them back. Now they have a new client.
Yeah.
And so, no, I love the idea of the pitch. What's the next vision for that? You know, where do you see the pitch going?
I definitely see the pitch being a big event. I do see it. It's already we're starting it as a monthly event. Right now we testing different venues before we can lock in a main venue. But I do see it going nationwide.
Definitely.
You know, we all have connections. Vegas is one of those cities where people come to Vegas anyway.
Oh, I can see people coming here just to come to the pitch.
Exactly. I can definitely see that as well. But taking it on the road is very big. I do have family like in Atlanta, New York. I have family everywhere, but I feel we actually in talks maybe the summertime, maybe try to take it to Atlanta, being the first one that we take on the road. Just leverage situations and see how we can make it happen and just make it happen. But other than that, I see it being what it is, a monthly event, bringing the community together, making it bigger, and literally every day, every month, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know?
Definitely. And it really just starts with that idea.
Yeah.
You know, I have this thing, and I may have said this before on a previous show, the graveyard is the richest place in the world. And that's because it's filled with people who never started the dream, the businesses they wanted to start, didn't write the songs they wanted to write, didn't open a bit. And it's like, and it's because we're gripped by fear.
Right.
But the thing I love about entrepreneurship is that you have to be fearless pretty much to accomplish whatever.
To accomplish whatever.
You know? And so, like, to go into business, you have to pretty much just say, you know what? I don't care what nobody think.
Right.
They gonna laugh. I'm gonna run out of money. I'm gonna lose some sleep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to work 3 jobs just to support the business. And so, because you said something that was interesting, that, you know, in your earlier stages while you were getting your business going, you had to go back to work. And a lot of times, I think a lot of, you know, these entrepreneur influencers try to make having a job seem like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, every job that I had while I was building my business, I used it as a kind of almost like an internship. Like, okay, I'm going to learn the inner workings of this, how this company is running.
Exactly.
I'm going to see what they do that I want to make sure I implement with my business.
Exactly.
I want to see what they do that I was like, you know what, I would never do this if I had my business. And so, how important was that for your journey? Just being able to stay afloat, but how important was that for you?
Very important, because one of the big things is the knowledge side of it. You know, outside of the money, keeping everything a balance. Because I've had moments where I've pretty much just walked out because, you know, business picked back up. So, but, you know, it's the knowledge side of it. It's the knowledge. And even just learning and growing, I've learned from all my jobs.
Right.
You know, I tell people I've had about 30 plus jobs, you know, because, you know, I wasn't the school guy. You know, I probably did a semester of college, you know. So, but I worked. And I've been working since I was 15.
Definitely.
And I learned from everyone. I put that on everything. I've learned from everyone. Even if I didn't like the job, I still learned from it. I took from it. So when I even opened up my business and I started, of course, there was things that helped me understand how to form the solar dealership, because I was working at a little contractor right after. It was just kind of weird. Like, you know, you just really piece it together and you say, okay, this is how it works. This is how they can operate for so long. So, because I don't want to shut down my baby. You know, I don't want to shut down. This is so you pay attention to how other people who've been operating for much longer, how they move, and you have to take those pieces. Don't be scared to take pieces, you know. No one's going to reinvent the wheel. You know
Absolutely
what I'm saying?
not.
So just be honest with yourself. Stick to what you're good at, your niches, but pay attention to what's going on out here. and you'll be really surprised.
Right.
You'll be really surprised.
And I think the other unfair advantage you had too is you were you were into sales.
Yeah.
And I think that when you're in sales, it teaches you how to deal with people.
Yeah.
Because when you're running a business, that's really the most important part. I don't care how talented you are. If you don't know how to deal with people, you don't know how to deal with conflict, you might have a customer that call you and cuss you out and call you every name under the sun.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Not saying you got to take it.
Yeah.
But you can't come back and punch the person in.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
I've heard tons of crazy
You got to have
things.
discernment.
Yeah.
And it's certain things about corporate America that does teach you discernment. It teaches you a certain level of discipline. But that's if you go in there for the right reasons.
Right.
You know, because sometimes, and I'll admit I was guilty of this. I had some jobs where I went just for the check.
Of course.
I wasn't trying to pull anything out of it, but that's because I wasn't developed mentally and I wasn't in that place at the time. Because like yourself, you know, I've been working for a long time. And so, yeah, I think that it's something about corporate America where a sales position in corporate America that teaches you those certain levels of discipline and how to interact with people, the foundation and all of that. Absolutely, King. So man, this was exciting, man.
Yeah, appreciate
this was exciting. How can the people find you? Share your social media.
For sure.
If they want to be a pitcher at your next event, whether you're in Las Vegas, fly out to Vegas, trust me.
Right.
If you've never been to Vegas, you're missing out. It's a little cold this time of year, though. But
people get surprised they get cold out here.
Like, it get cold in Vegas. I'm like, for one, it's a desert.
Yeah, exactly.
But how can people find you, man?
Definitely. You can contact me, Kadeem at broadliving.com. You can also reach me Facebook. Just type in Kadeem Armand. Deem sales and strategy, Deem _sales and strategies at IG. We also have the business Broad Living Consulting. You type that in, it'll send up the links to everything. What else we have? Broad Living Homes, Broad Living Motors. You type in that. You can call our office direct 702-900-5148. Man, just contact us because we do a lot of work. We take care of the people. We make sure projects get done. We make sure we stay solid because that's all we do have, just to stay solid.
Definitely.
You know?
And what about your social media? Because, you know, that's the age
that's the
we're
big
now.
thing. That's the
the
big
new
thing.
business card.
So, yeah, like I said, that's Deem Sales and Strategies. And you type in Deem
Spell
Sales and
Deem for them,
Strategies.
so
Deem,
that
sorry, DEEM _ and sales, SALES and _ strategies. You type that in, you got it. And Kadeem, if you want to find me, that's KADEEM, Oberry, OBERRY. I'm telling you, type me in, you'll see me because that's all I do is try to make my way on social media as well.
Absolutely. And when's the next pitch for anyone who sees this who wants to be a part of that?
So pitch right now is March 27th. Billy & Schmidt Studios at March 27th. Right now, we are working on a time. So that's going to be to be displayed. But right now, March 27th, Billy & Schmidt Studios, that'll be the next pitch. So RSVP to pitch at Kadeem at broadliving.com. Make sure you reach out to me if you are serious about pitching your business. You can even call me. Right now, we're just really one with the people, one with the community. My number, again, is for the office, 702-900-5148. Contact us, talk to us. We'll get you locked and loaded.
Definitely.
You know?
And for all my people, all my entrepreneurs, make sure y'all reach out to this good brother. I'm talking about the King is doing a lot of dope things out here in the community. He has my support 110%. And I'm telling you, the pitch is something you definitely want to make sure you partake in, even if you're an up-and-coming entrepreneur. A lot of times we're always talking about, man, how can I get my business in front of the people?
This is
He's
it.
giving you the platform.
This is it.
So make sure y'all reach out to him.
Yeah.
Again, family, my name is Will Roundtree. Again, make sure you go to my YouTube channel, subscribe at Mr. Will Roundtree, like, share, all that good stuff. Good comments, bad comments. I just want the feedback. Until then, family, I'll see you all at the top. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Wealth Files podcast. My name is Will Roundtree. Yo, make sure that you subscribe to me on YouTube at Mr. Will Roundtree. And also, you can follow me on all the top podcast sites, Google, Anchor, Apple, as well as Spotify. And again, family, I appreciate you going on this journey with me, and I'll see you all at the top.